Hello and welcome back to another video where I'm ranking all of the Office episodes. And today we are starting off with season 7. No, that's not right. Season 8. And I'm not excited. I am not excited for this. I've been excited about mostly all the other seasons. I've been really kind of really excited to make this series, and we've come really far from the first video, and kind of I've been getting better on editing and kind of just posting these videos, and I've been having a lot of fun. So I thank you all for watching, and yeah. So with all the good news out of the way, let's dive right in and get to the bad news of these episodes. I don't know. For me, I enjoy these episodes. I enjoy these last two seasons, but oh boy, I don't like them. I don't like them as much as the last 6 7 seasons. So yeah. So starting off the season, we have the list, and this is following last season's finale, which is basically the office employees are looking for a new boss, and they're looking for someone to replace D'Angelo, who replaced Michael. And basically, the list is just basically Robert California became CEO and replacing Joe Bennett, and making Andy his the actual manager for the rest of the season. And Andy as a manager, I like it. I enjoy it. I enjoyed his little key moment at the end, and him wanting to be a manager and be a better manager and be a kind of a. I like this build up from making him one of the worst characters to one of the best, and that's something I like. So I'm gonna have to put list. It's it's a good start to the season, so I'm gonna probably put it in. It's in a really great episode. I'd put it low, really great. So in the next episode, we have The Incentive. It's following Robert California telling Andy, saying, hey man, you got to double all your sales, double everything. I want basically your work product to increase so much. And I like it. I really enjoyed this episode because of Andy's kind of character and his relationships with all the characters of The Office, and I really like them all working together, and I really like them all coming together to have this little good shared moment at the end of putting a tattoo on his ass. So it's not bad. I put it in a really great episode. It's a high up there. It's really I put it high up there. So following that, we have Lotto. Lotto is when Daryl's warehouse employees, they all leave because they won the lottery, because it's like some company lottery, and since they all won, they ended up dipping, but he's not with them only because he's up in the office with everybody, because he wanted to kind of be moved up. But he's like a real downer because he has to hire new recruits, and he has to kind of like he has to sell that he's a good employee to run the warehouse downstairs. And I like this character moment with him and Andy, but I don't like that they kind of not dumb, more like bring down his character. And I really wish that he was still the same character that we started off in the very first episode, or not the first episode, but the very first season, when he's introduced as this kind of this big bad broad guy. I know, like later on they kind of like expand his character a bit and make him a little bit more likable, but I really wish that we kind of had that same old Daryl, because the Daryl that we remember, that I remember, is from Employee Transfer, when he's cheering up Mike whenever he's down, and he's being there for other employees and basically cheering them up when they're down. And I feel like that's not the Daryl that we get here, and this is a kind of a different Daryl. So that's something that kind of just takes me out of it. And I would be mad and sad if someone else won the lottery than me, but I just really wish it wasn't him to go through this kind of arc or this kind of episode thing. So yeah, I'd put Lotto in. It's a really great episode. Probably a good, not a great episode. It's high up there, but it's not wow and pizzazz. So in the next episode, we are following with Garden Party. Okay, this is a sad episode, and it's a really good episode. Well, honestly, I think we're off to a great start. Honestly, I might have to retract what I said, but Garden Party, I do really like Garden Party. It's a really great episode. It really expands the character of Andy, kind of being this reject and just this kind of not really wanting to be, like he wants to show that he's a good son to his parents, but in the end, his parents are just thinking of him as kind of a disappointment or like a waste of time, and it's okay. I like I really love the moment at the end of all the office workers just cheering him up and being there for him, and it's a plot hole, but in Goodbye Toby, when he proposes to Angela, it shows that his parents are there and he's like waving at them and they're like really excited to see him. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I'm like, was that really needed to add Garden Party after that episode and show all of a sudden they hate him now? But it's just certain plot holes that are just, they bug me, like with the Lotto of Daryl's character and Garden Party. It's just, there's just certain things that you can't really kind of just overlook, but you'll after you're watching through it and after you're done with it, it'll just kind of blend into the mix of nothing. So for the next episode, we have Spooked. Spooked is a Halloween party in which Erin throws a party for everybody and for this kind of for the office, and she asks Gabe and to make it a really horrifying party, and she throws it for her boss, Robert California, and the son is, well, not really specifically for them, but for the whole office. And the son is kind of just being an asshole to Dwight, and Robert California, he tells this whole spooky story at the end, and it doesn't sit well for me. It's not really crazy or anything that they've done before in the past few Halloween parties, but I'd put Spooked, I'd put it in the unmemorable. No, I put it in neutral. It's not bad, but it doesn't have anything kind of changing. It doesn't have anything going above and beyond. I'd rather watch The Inner Circle or Michael's Birthday or Hot Girl, all those above Spooked if I wanted to. And it's something that just doesn't really pique my interest that I want to come back and rewatch. So in the next episode following Spooked, we have Doomsday. Doomsday, it's when Dwight creates kind of like a doomsday device, and basically if the employees of the office keep messing up, it'll strike them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe, or just as long if they make so many mistakes, the doomsday timer will reset, and then it will send a email to Robert California, and they all have to work together to try to disarm it and kind of prevent that. So Jim goes to Robert California to distract him and to not let the email be sent to him or delete it. And then the side plot is basically with Gabe. Oh god, I forgot about Gabe. Gabe trying to get with Val of the warehouse, and it's really there's just a little bit too much going on, but I do like all the characters working together. But you know, it just has its little bit of drawbacks. But I'd put it in a good, not great. It's good. It's watchable, but something not exceeding. It does pique my interest, but it doesn't exceed too much. You know. So in the next episode, we have Pam's replacement. Yeah. So this is. Oh my god. How do I even explain this? This is where shit starts going downhill, and we just start throwing darts at the wall and seeing what sticks. But I'd put this might this might be our first E. So I don't like this episode. I am. How do I say it? I don't like this episode. There's so much going on in this episode to the point where I don't like this episode. To the point where, or not to the point. Basically, I don't like what's happening. I don't like what's plot they chose. I don't know what the fuck they were drinking or what the hell they were sniffing. What the hell went wrong with this damn episode? I don't know. Essentially, Pam and Jim are having, I don't know, marital problems, or not really marital problems, but she just feels so insecure about him that she asks Dwight to team up with him and basically trying to get him to cheat on her with what was her name? Katie. Oh, Katie is pretty hot, I will say, but she does kind of annoy me later on. But I just wish that they chose something else. And then we got the side plot, was basically them forming a band of Andy, Daryl, and Kevin, but Robert just takes it over and just ends up creating his own band. But, you know, at the end they end up making their own band again, Daryl, Kevin, and Andy. I like that. It's pretty nice. But just Pam's relationship and the cringiness of Robert taking over the band, it just I don't like it. I don't understand what the hell happened. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like this episode. It's pretty terrible. It's terrible. So yeah. So in the next episode we have Gettysburg. It's basically when Andy takes half of the group to Gettysburg and he tries to motivate them. He tries to inspire them to kind of work a little bit harder in a way. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what goes on in this episode. Robert California takes after the other group and he tries to get good and better ideas out of the other half, which is basically he tries to get them to give him ideas from for the company, Dunder Mifflin and Saber. For me, what doesn't work in this episode, I'm like, dude, you are I don't get Robert California's character because he's a CEO, right? He's a CFO. He is basically the top guy. Why does he choose to stay at this one kind of one facility? Why doesn't he go to other facilities? That's something for me that I'm like, why does he have to be at the office every single episode? I don't know. I'm okay. Gettysburg for me, it's okay. It's alright. It's neutral. It's nothing crazy. It's unmemorable. I don't really give a shit. It's right there. I don't know. I've been trying to refresh my memory. I don't want to go and watch it because I know I'm not going to have a fun time watching it. I'd rather go watch any one of these episodes or some of these, but I don't want to watch that. Or Pam's Replacement. Because why would I do that to myself? Anyways. So in the next episode, we have Mrs. California. And it's when Mr. Robert California, he takes his wife to come in. And he tells Andy, don't hire my wife under any circumstance. And basically he comes in and she's asking for a job. And Andy says no. And he's flip-flopping about wanting to hire her, but he's Basically, Robert is saying don't hire him, but when he's in front of his wife, he's like, please hire her. You know, are you sure we can't do anything? And basically, Andy can't tell the difference, and he's basically acting dumb. Or well, he's not acting dumb. He's just dumb in this episode to the point where he's like, I don't know whether to check. You know, I don't. It's for me. It bugs me. It's not really fun, and it's unmemorable. It's nothing crazy, nothing cool happening. Because it's just, the whole plot is just basically Andy. He's like, should I hire her? No. Should I hire her? No. Should I hire him? Yes. Should I hire her? I don't know. I'm losing my mind thinking about this. So in the next episode, we have Christmas Wishes. It's a pretty good episode. It's a really great episode. I'd say that we're kind of lifting ourselves up from the last episode. It's following Andy wanting to kind of make everybody's wish come true, and they end up getting a Christmas bonus, or for the sales team, and they end up getting a Christmas bonus, and he asks everybody to be nice to his girlfriend Jessica, his new girlfriend, and Erin is really jealous, and she's drinking a lot, and Robert California, he's drinking a lot as well because of his marriage is kind of like failing, and he's kind of just not really pressuring, but he's kind of putting it on Erin. He's like, hey, you should drink, and basically they're drinking together, and Andy's noticing that they're having fun a lot, and basically he just wants to make sure that she's okay, and everybody else is like kind of just having fun, and Dwight and Jim are basically going after each other, and they're pulling each other's like leg because Andy said, you know, I'm gonna take your guys' bonus, whoever's like causing the most havoc, or basically, and or not who's causing the most panic, but who gets caught. So I think it's a pretty good episode. It's high up there. I really like the ending of just all of them kind of just having that shared moment with each other, or like the shared kind of sense that it leaves you with a good feeling at the end. So in the next episode we have trivia. Trivia I really like. I really enjoy this episode. I'm gonna put it high up in really great, only because I really enjoy all the characters working together. I really enjoy all the characters spending time with each other, growing their friendship, growing their character a little bit, and I love it when they're all kind of conversing with each other. I really like it because it really shows that Andy is kind of being a good manager in a sense to their other employees, and because it's basically about they're trying to increase the sales of the office and the sales of their facility, and Oscar is basically going to his gay trivia bar, or gay bar that has the trivia night, and Andy thinks like, hey, we should go over there to try to win the money and basically compete against Oscar, and they end up winning in the end, or Erin ends up winning with their group, which is Meredith and Kevin, and I love that they're all working together to try to achieve something that they really want, and that's something that I like. And for the next episode, pool party. Okay. Holy shit. Pool party is... It's a good, not great episode. I like this episode, but I don't like this episode. The reason I like this episode, you know, all the characters conversing, you know the deal. I just don't like some parts of this episode. I really like all the characters in this, and they're all kind of trying to prove to Robert that, hey, you know, like, look at me. And what's his name? Jim trying to leave, and then Erin trying to make Andy jealous of flirting with Dwight, and it's a whole lot of things happening in the episode. I think the one thing that really brings it down for me is just Robert California. I don't know. He cringes me out. He creeps me out. He makes me cringe so much in this episode, and Gabe and Ryan trying to prove their kind of like their worth to him, or like prove that they're which one is they're trying to rival on who's better than who, to kind of seek his approval of them. And it's something that I'm like, okay, it's good, but it doesn't pique my interest to go back and rewatch, you know. So in the next episode we have Jury Duty. I like Jury Duty. I like Jury Duty. It's a good, not a great episode. There's a lot going on in this episode. I'd watch Jury Duty a bit above, like right there, Mafia. It's a bit above the Mafia. Basically, Jim lies about his jury duty, and it's being unfolded at the end. And Dwight is wondering if he's the father of Angela's baby, because her baby's like really big and it's premature. And Angela keeps denying that Dwight is the father. So it's all around. It's a very confusing episode, but it kind of settles. It kind of forms at the end, and it leaves with a heartwarming ending, and it's okay. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too extravagant, but I guess that's what it kind of leaves me with. It's a good tier. Not really great, nothing crazy too happening. So in the next episode we have Special Project. Special Project is following Dwight looking to hire like his coworkers basically to go on a trip to Tallahassee for like this big, not really convention, but it's a big Saber deal, and it's basically to advertise like their new their triangles, and it's pretty good. And the side plot is with Daryl trying to find Val's like the kind of like what he means, because she gave him a gift, which was a beanie, and you know it's okay. It's nothing crazy. It's Dwight just being Dwight. It's good, but it's not great. I'd put it right there. So in the next episode we have Tallahassee. I like Tallahassee. It's pretty good. It's in probably it's a good, not great episode, probably right there. I like this episode because we're taken to a new location. We are finally seeing most of these new things that they're kind of working with. And I will say my biggest gripe with this kind of story arc in this season is same problem I had with Jim becoming the boss. I had the same problem with Michael and his little run with his paper company. It just was a little bit too short, but I enjoyed it. It's nothing too crazy. Dwight is stressing about basically doing his presentation for Saber, and he doesn't feel as confident in himself, and they end up meeting Todd Packer, and Todd Packer's the other presenter. Basically, they're trying to one-up each other to win Nellie's affection, to kind of sleep with her in order to get the new job, which is the job is basically being like the manager or like the director of all the projects that are going to be happening. And it's a pretty good episode. I enjoy it. So in the next episode, After Hours, I think I may have overflowed what I was saying in the last part. So basically, After Hours is basically following what I just said, and this one's involving the Jim and Kathy plot of basically Jim kind of going crazy about not going crazy. He's basically reading the signs that Kathy's leaving him, that she's wanting to sleep with him, and it's I can't get over that scene. It is very cringy. I'm like, I was about to put it high up in good, not great, but I'm like, holy shit, I remember that scene, and I don't like that scene. That scene's, I don't like it. But then what really lifts it up for me is the amount of lengths that Dwight will go to just drop everything in order to make sure Jim's okay and he doesn't have any bed bugs. And I really like that. I really enjoy that. So After Hours is going to be in a good, not great. It's good, but what comes... It's in a really great episode, but I really wish we left the Jim and Kathy plotline, but overall, I'd give it a good episode. And the side plot is basically Val's boyfriend coming in and asking Daryl, like, what the hell, why are you texting my girlfriend all these messages? And it's very in, like, kind of, it's showing that Val and him are flirting, and they're kind of getting, like, kind of weird together, and it's they spend up all night basically like reading through all the texts, and they get food and such, and it's okay. It's not a bad episode. It's high up there for me, I will say, but like I said, if Kathy and Jim's plotline was not in there, I would have taken it. It would have been so much better. So in the next episode, we have Test the Store. It's when the Saber store is finally up, and they have to do a presentation of how good the store will be when it first opens. And essentially, Ryan backs out, and Jim has to do the presentation for them. And Dwight ends up winning Nellie's approval, and Nellie ends up making him the actual official director of everything. And it's not a bad episode, because in this episode we have Andy getting beat up by girls defending Pam, and them just kind of going against each other, and Toby is teaching self-defense to the whole office. It's an okay episode. Now that I think about it, it's a neutral episode because we have something good going on in Tallahassee, then we have something boring going on back at the office. It's okay, and it's nothing too crazy, so it doesn't exceed the good, but it's alright. So I forgot to mention in the other episode, Tallahassee, we met Florida Stanley. I'm a big fan of Florida Stanley. And for the last day in Florida, Stanley's pretty mad, and it's pretty sad. So, but overall, in last day of Florida, I really enjoyed this episode. I really like the lengths that Dwight went to go kind of save Jim from, like, Kathy, basically. I really like that with Jim's character saving Dwight from getting fired, and how much he cares to kind of save him. And I honestly, I really enjoy that. And the side plot is basically Daryl and Toby are dancing and humiliating themselves to get cookies bought by Kevin, and because Kevin is like kind of just eats all the cookies, and he basically buys as much cookies as he wants, and it's okay. The side plots in this little series I don't really like, because I'm like, why were they added in? They're a little boring for me. So last day in Florida, I'd put it in. It's a good, not great episode. It's probably up there by grief counseling, sure. So the next episode we have Get the Girl. Alright, Get the Girl is terrible, I will admit. I don't like this episode. I don't like Nellie. I never did. I hated her. Well, I don't hate her because I don't really know her. But, like, she is not my favorite character. Her character arc is not my favorite. I just don't like her as a character in this show. And, what else is there to say? Andy basically cheats on his current girlfriend Jessica, which I think she's pretty hot, compared to Erin, which is she's just annoying. But I don't like that they tear him apart again. They start to break down his character right here, and they just start tearing things down when he goes out of his way to go get Erin. And when I first watched this, I was like, oh, okay, I see this happening. And then I forget that he is with Jessica. I forget all of that I remembered about Jessica is completely out the window because I'm like, oh my god, how did I forget about Jessica? Well, because they didn't really show her that much of her. So, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't, I don't like it. I don't like Nellie taking over as boss for Andy, and it's something that I don't like. So, next episode, we have Welcome Party. Yeah, let's see. It's terrible. I don't like it. I don't like it because... What did I just say last round? He breaks up with his girlfriend. He breaks up with his girlfriend to get back with his ex. Or get back... Well, yeah, it is his ex. But anyways, I don't like this episode because... Well, a little bit because they throw a hate party for Nelly, but they go too far. But like, it's just... It's very cringy. It's like watching Michael be an asshole for like basically 3 hours straight, and you can't close your eyes. You have to just sit there and watch what's happening. And it's like watching someone step on Legos and you just feel their pain. Well, you probably have to feel the pain because you stepped on them before, and I don't like it. I don't enjoy this episode. It is so hard to watch. It is so hard to even comprehend. And most of all, I don't go back and watch this. I don't really watch it at all. So in the next episode, we have Angry Andy, and it's basically him and Aaron coming back, and he's trying to get back his old job, and Nellie is basically being like, she's basically saying, no, this isn't your job. You weren't here when I got here, so this is my job, and she's just basically trying to be boss, and Kelly is no longer with Ryan, so Ryan is trying to get back with, or Kelly is no longer with Ryan, and Ryan is trying to get back with Kelly, and Pam is basically setting him up with setting her up with a new person, and Ryan gets so really jealous, and it's an okay episode. It's unmemorable. It's boring. It's not good. It's terrible. The next episode, we have a fundraiser. Fundraiser is when Angela's husband is basically hosting a fundraiser for like the dogs and the animals' rights, and pretty dope. But like, it's when Andy buys like 12 dogs, and he's basically he's doing it out of like kind of just trying to. I don't know his reasons. Well, he has a big reason. It's basically because he lost his job. He lost his management position because he decided to go get a girl that wasn't in love with him before. Well, she was, but like, basically he cheated on his girlfriend, and I don't like it. I don't understand what they were doing in this goddamn season. But anyways, I digress. But it's an okay episode, and there's nothing crazy that happens in it. It's a boring episode. I don't understand what the hell they were doing in these episodes. So in the next episode, we have Turf War. Essentially, Dwight and Jim are teaming up to fight over a client from another branch, and it's basically Robert shutting down. He shut down another branch, and they're trying to go after that branch's kind of clients and such. I think that's, don't quote me on that. Robert California is basically going to Nellie and asking him what did he send her, because he sent her a drunk voicemail, and he was not in the right mind. It was all around this just too much happening in this episode that there's not really thing to point on, but it's an okay episode. We're kind of getting out of the gutters here. We're not going downhill. So I put Turf War. It's in the neutral. But we do get like little hints of Andy kind of going to David Wallace and just finding out like he has this much money to like invest and such. And it's a cool little kind of tease that David Wallace is going to be back in this series, and I really enjoy that. I really like that they brought back kind of a little bit of old characters, and I really enjoy that. Okay, so in the next episode we have Free Family Portrait Studio, and essentially what happens is in this episode is Dwight's trying to figure out if like Angela's baby is actually their baby, and he's trying to get like a DNA sample of the baby to take it to the hospital and actually kind of like learn if he is the actual father. And the senator is basically having he's basically showing interest in Oscar, and Oscar is like kind of showing interest back. And the big thing that happens in this episode is basically Andy, since in the last episode he met up with David Wallace, and he's basically gonna undermine Robert California and make himself the owner of Dunder Mifflin and cut off Saber, and basically ending the Saber timeline of the last 2 seasons and making David Wallace the official owner of Dunder Mifflin, and making Andy the kind of like the head boss, the manager of the office again, and basically kicking Nellie and Gabe and Robert California to the curbs. And I like it. I enjoyed this episode. It was really fun. It was a lot going on, but you could know what's happening, and there's a lot to remember in this episode. Andy reinstated as a manager. I liked it. It was okay. Nothing crazy. But I feel like these episodes that he was not in, I feel like, or not really not in, but like it's just these episodes that he was not a part of the office, kind of in the loophole. It was kind of unbearable. It was unbearable to watch in a sense. But they did end up making Nellie like kind of like the side character again. But I'd put it in neutral. It was okay. It's a high neutral. It's nothing crazy happening in it, and it's nothing like wow and pizzazz that I was looking for. So all in all, I thought it was an okay episode. Nothing too crazy about it. But yeah, so that's going to be the last episode of the season. It was really hard to sit through and kind of remember most of all these episodes, because I don't really remember most of these episodes. And I do remember the ones that I don't like, which is insane. But like, it's for me, reliving through these last few episodes and last second to the last season, it was really hard because I don't enjoy this season, and it's not really one of my favorites. And I myself, it's scattered. It's not really my favorites, and I don't like it. So, but yeah. So I'm gonna throw it off to you guys. What did you guys think? Tell me your thoughts down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you guys don't, then that's okay. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and yeah, have a wonderful day.